Who doesn't love having a great looking landscape or garden? And yet all too often we reach for a pesticide or fertilizer to fix a potential problem. But in many cases it makes the problem worse. In this video I'll explain why that's the case and give you some better options for more environmentally friendly solutions. You know, as we often work so hard to get our landscapes and gardens looking their best, oftentimes we reach for that chemical solution as the fix, and that seems to be the norm rather than the exception. And that's too bad because those chemicals can have so many unintended consequences. Take pesticides, for example. Even organic ones are non-selective, meaning they can't tell the difference between a bad bug and a beneficial. So when that chemical comes in contact with the insect, it dies. Here's why that matters. Of all the bugs in the world, only about 1% are considered pests, the ones that actually harm plants. The other 99% are either beneficial or neutral, but they die too. And their populations don't recover nearly as quickly as pest insects that have developed resistance to many of the common pesticides in use today in home gardens. That means the pests bounce back quicker without any natural predators to manage their populations. So now the pest issues only get worse. And here's another problem with pesticides. About 93% of a songbird's diet is caterpillars and insects. So not only are there less food sources, birds do a lot of our natural pest control for us if given the chance. And wouldn't you rather have birds than pests? And one more thing about why we need to cut down on our pesticide use. The unintended consequences destroy healthy habitats and ecosystems, and the runoff of harmful chemicals make their way into aquifers and watersheds, and ultimately into our bodies. So what can you do instead? Well, first, change your mindset. Rather than making a chemical fix your first choice, make it your last and learn how to design your garden to keep pests from even becoming a problem in the first place. Work with nature versus against her by planting a diverse mix of beneficial insect-attracting plants that will show up to do much of your pest control for you. Use physical barriers like lightweight row covers that block many insects from getting to your plants to do harm. And be more proactive yourself by heading off small problems before they become bigger ones using manual controls like hand removal. And finally, if you do resort to pesticides, look for organic options first that are selective and kill just the pest you're trying to control. If you can resist the urge to reach for those harsh chemicals first and raise your level of threshold for a little bit of damage and take matters into your own hand, literally by hand removing pests, and plant a more diverse plant palette and use physical barriers and more benign options, you're going to have fewer pests and a much healthier garden too.